Melbourne police are on high alert after a fourth attempted child abduction in as many weeks. Live to Tegan Dolling in Melbourne. Tegan, the growing number of incidents sending shock through the suburbs.
It's incredibly worrying, Nat. Police are treating these as four separate incidents. However, they do all include a male driver in a white van, and they span across a number of different suburbs here in Melbourne. The first being up at Blackburn, Tullamarine, Doncaster and Boronia. It was 2 weeks ago when the first incident occurred. That's where that 11-year-old boy was approached by a man and told that his mum had actually asked him to pick him up. Police have put out a face fit of the man that they were looking for in regards to that incident. The next was a 14-year-old girl walking home after sports practice. She was approached by a man and told to get in a van. She ran to a nearby sporting oval and called for help. The last two occurred just this week. A 15-year-old girl was walking near the Doncaster shopping centre. She was also told to get into a van and she was able to run to the shopping centre for help. And then just on Tuesday, a young boy was also approached in very similar circumstances. Now, police won't reveal why they're treating them all as separate because they seem to be really similar incidents. However, luckily, Nat, no one was abducted in these cases, but I think it definitely raises a bit of a concern to parents this morning to perhaps have that chat with your kids before you go off to school about stranger danger, and in particular, in these cases, keep a lookout for anyone in a white van.
How frightening. OK, thank you, Tegan. Here's Shervo.
Thanks, Nat. It's been almost 2 years since teenage thugs broke into Emma and Lee Lovell's home in North Lakes, where Emma was stabbed to death defending her family. Now, one of the offenders who entered their home that night has walked free. Let's go live to Georgia Costi in Brisbane. Georgia, Emma's widower feels justice has been denied.
That's right, Chavo. This is a family who moved here to Queensland from the UK for a better life, but instead that life has been torn apart and they are repeatedly let down by our justice system here in Queensland. The court has now released some new footage of that fateful night in 2022. We know that one teenager has already been sentenced over Emma's murder, but yesterday his accomplice was able to walk free from the Supreme Court here in Brisbane. He was found not guilty of murder, but was sentenced on some lesser charges of burglary and assault. But with time already served, he is now a free man, not even with a probation order. This is what Lee had to say outside court yesterday after that incredibly disappointing and frustrating outcome.
Just pretty let down as always, really. I still think he should have got the same sentence as the other guy, and I'll never change that view. I don't think that he won't do anything different. I'm sure probably within a couple of months, he'll be back in court again.
You can hear the defeat in Lee's voice there. It's just so sad. But Shervo, here in Queensland, with our new government, we do have a new Attorney General. She's released a statement saying that she knows this sentence absolutely does not meet community expectations. She's going to seek advice and see what options there are. Hopefully this family may be able to have some justice in the future.
Yeah, is this what David Crisafulli is aiming to fix in Queensland? Thank you, Georgia.
Let's get more news. Here's Eddie.
Thank you, Nat. New South Wales Premier Chris Minns has hit back following bombshell claims of corruption in state parliament. Live to Liam Tapper on this story. Liam, the Premier has slammed the allegations as disgraceful. Explain what's he being accused of?
Yeah, good morning, Eddie. Well, these quite serious allegations that have been put forward in this parliamentary committee that are looking into the potential sale of the Rosehill Racecourse for a housing development. Now, this was, of course, the flagship housing program that the Minns government was putting forward, 25,000 houses just outside Parramatta. What he's being accused of is of not declaring a conflict of interest or a potential one that he may have had with the Australian Turf Commission's head of government relations, Stephen McMahon. Now, it's been revealed that Minns and McMahon, they've been friends for 20 years. And it was after a meeting between the two of them that this proposal actually got the green light to go ahead. There weren't even any architectural drawings put forward about what this development would look like, but it was fast-tracked. And then that public announcement, of course, it was made. Now, this is yet to be referred to the corruption watchdog. We are expecting that to happen tomorrow. There's also been no suggestion that Chris Minns has done anything wrong, but that, of course, is going to be up to the ICAC, Eddie, if they do investigate.
Interesting times ahead in state politics there in New South Wales. Thank you, Liam. Two police officers are being hailed heroes this morning after saving a woman from a vicious house fire in Brisbane's north. Emergency crews were called to a home in Virginia just after 9 to find the house burning out of control with a woman trapped inside. Police and firefighters worked to rescue the 37-year-old woman before she was taken to hospital for smoke inhalation. The hero officers were also taken to hospital and also treated for smoke inhalation too. The brother and sister of Easy Street murder victims Suzanne Armstrong and Susan Bartlett have spoken of their mixed emotions after coming face to face with their sister's accused killer. 65-year-old Perry Corombles faced a Melbourne court after being extradited from Italy, charged with 2 counts of murder and 1 of rape, 47 years after the 1977 killings.
Half ecstatic, very scared. Very appreciative to our detectives who've worked so hard these last few years.
Corombles was 17 at the time of the murders. He will spend Christmas in a cell and face a magistrate early next year. Perth grandmother Donna Nelson will spend 6 years behind bars after being found guilty of smuggling 2 kilograms of methamphetamine into Japan. Let's go live to 7 News Asia editor James Carmody. James, this is such a devastating outcome for Donna's family.
It sure is, Eddie. As Donna Nelson learnt her fate in the Chiba District Court yesterday, her head bowed lower and lower and she wept as it sunk in that she was being sent to jail for 6 years. With time already served, the 58-year-old mother and grandmother won't be free until January of 2029. The judges in sentencing saying they sympathised with Donna Nelson, accepting that she had been the victim of a romance scam and was deceived when she brought 2 kilograms of meth into the country hidden inside a suitcase, but they said that there were too many warning signs that had been ignored and so she had to be found guilty. They said that the 6-year sentence could be seen as a lenient penalty compared with the potential 2-year maximum, but Donna Nelson's family and legal defence team say that 6 years in a prison away from home and family is far from lenient for an innocent woman. Here's Donna Nelson's defence outside court.
I believe this is a very unreasonable decision. We definitely need to talk with Donna, but we will fight until the end, until she gets freedom. Of course, she's devastated, but I think she's a strong woman. So.
Ms Nelson and her lawyers now have 2 weeks to launch their likely appeal, and that's something that could see in Japan up to a year taken before she's in front of a judge again. Eddie.
Thank you, James. James Carmody there live in Chiba, Japan. A 7 News investigation has revealed an alarming number of children are escaping or getting lost from daycare centres. Missing children cases are up 30% since last year. That's an extra 500 children going missing. Whilst veteran educators believe a lack of training is to blame, promising figures show educators taking up TAFE courses, raising some hope that more experienced and trained educators will return to the field. The Commonwealth Bank has backed out of plans to charge some of its customers with assisted transaction fees after mounting public backlash. The program would impact customers with a complete access account, forcing them to pay $3 if they withdrew money from a bank teller, post office or over the phone. But CBA admits customers hoping to bank in person must pay for the privilege in the future. Gold Coast Mayor Tom Tate has revealed his intentions to make a multi-million-dollar offer to expand the Aquatic Centre in Southport. Live to Liam Bland, who's on the Gold Coast for us. And morning, Liam. Part of the council's bid to secure some of the hosting rights for the 2032 Brisbane Olympics.
Eddie, city leaders here on the Gold Coast want to secure its fair share of the world's most prolific sporting event. And at the Olympics, it doesn't get much bigger than the swimming. The current facility here in Southport took centre stage during the 2018 Commonwealth Games, but council's been warned upgrades are needed if it's to feature in 2032. A cash splash of about $150 million to install a roof and upgrade seating could be what's required, according to Mayor Tom Tate. He wants to split the cost with the state government, while an independent review into potential Olympic infrastructure is already underway. And although there is still some daylight between now and the 2032 Games, the World Short Course Swimming Championships are scheduled for 2028. It's an event the Gold Coast wants to snag, and if completed in time, these upgrades could help to achieve just that.